Hello, social media friends. It is Jeremy Rowland, and it is July the 12th, 2026, a Sunday here in the great state of Arkansas. And this is Driveway with Jeremy, where I sit in my $25 dollar store chair in a driveway of my home with my two cats at my feet, and I talk to you about sports and what it teaches us about life. Now, there are lots of things that we could talk about today, but the most obvious, the most internet buzzing thing was the UFC event last night in Las Vegas, and what a peak, but yet massively disappointing event that it was. I thought that the prelims were awesome. The prelims, if you have to say that they delivered, they delivered. Some great fights. Paddy the Baddy just mauled that dude. Stevenson mauled his opponent. I think Paddy the Baddy is probably the face of the UFC now. Will probably go on and fight Max Holloway. But really, the biggest thing was Conor McGregor. I mean, there's been all types of, this and that and the whole thing. But here, how can I put this? Here's the way that I look at it, okay? I don't believe that he was injured prior to the fight. I believe that he had that kick pre-planned, like he's done in the past, and he ended up blowing out his knee. But here's the problem with that entire thing, okay? He entered the ring, he's going to walk away with his bag just as well as Max Holloway. But here's what I took away from that fight, most of all. Even if you are a professional athlete in the UFC, in the fighting game, okay? Why? You got all these fans there. You got everybody that paid money to go there. You had people that paid money to fly into Vegas. You had people to stay at there in Vegas. And it's not cheap. My thing is, though, that if he blew out his knee, why'd the fight stop? I think it's a legitimate question. Because what does it teach us about life? Because if you approach me and want to try to beat the brakes off of me, or if I approach you and try to beat the brakes off of you, if you blow out your knee, I'm not going to let up on you. And if I blow out my knee, you're not going to let up on me. And I'm not getting paid $30 million to give a whooping or take a whooping. But the fight was just stopped in utter disappointment. And I was just kind of stunned there for just a second. My emotions went from, what the hell did I just watch, to, was that set up? Was this whole thing cooked up? And then Max Holloway said something. He's like, hey, let's have a trilogy. Let's run it back. Let's get that money. Let's get that money. And then when I heard that, I was like, what the hell did he just say? Let's get that money. Conor McGregor's been milking this thing for years. Now listen, he's had a historic career. He's made the UFC probably what it is today. A big part of it. He's not the core part of it, but he's a big part of it. But, I get more out of watching these bare knuckle fights than I do watching the UFC anymore. Because those dudes, whether you got a broken eye socket, you blow your knee out, you break your leg or whatever, they don't quit. Just like you and I wouldn't quit. It just wouldn't stop. So what does it teach us about life, really? I tell you what it taught me last night is that no matter in life, if you break a leg, blow out a knee, rip out a shoulder or whatever, you got to keep fighting. Because if you're just going to lay up and make excuses, then life is just going to pass you by. You got to keep grinding. No matter what happens to you in life, you can't lose. You can't. If you are going to lose, then go down losing with everything you got inside of you. And I think that's what McGregor should have done last night. He should have figured out a way to get through the first round. And then the commentators, Joe Rogan and all them, could have been like, he's blown it. He would have had a hell of a lot more respect. And so would have Max. Instead of Max pointing at the referee going, hey, I think he's hurt. Jump on top of him and ground and pound and put the thing to bed. And lastly, I think McGregor wanted to retire last night. You seen him after the disappointment. He was looking at his gloves. He would touch the red tape from time to time like he wanted to take them off. And then he just leaves. He doesn't even give the fans any type of what happened or anything like that. He just leaves the octagon. And then he limps some of the way, and then he walks some of the way. And then when he gets outside to get into his entourage vehicle, he's limping. And then he just leaves. He just leaves. Disappointing. Beyond disappointing. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the day. It's not too hot, not too cool. It feels great on the skin. And I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and a great week ahead. And this is Driveway with Jeremy. And if you like it, smash that like button, smash that share button. And we do have some hats left. If you would like to send me a direct message, I think I've got about a half a dozen of some of them left. I'll get you one. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow for another Driveway with Jeremy.